and one of them is act. I tapped a picture on a low branch about 2 feet from the beginning of the graph. Here he is, Evan Duran. He's Sylvia's younger brother. Duran was her maiden name before she became Mrs. Hanson, Mrs. Truscott, and Mrs. Marks. Betty grinned. Hanson, Truscott, and Marks. Sounds like she caught a whole law firm. She's been on the show for 20 years, Tommy said. Erica Kane had 5 husbands by the time she'd been on All My Children for 20 years. Back at my desk, I pulled out the character bio file and found the folder marked Evan Duran. Scanning the pages, I said, he started in his teens as a rock singer, then he joined the Marines, went overseas, had some bad experiences, but the head writer at that time never specified exactly what happened to him. When Evan left the Marines and came back to Greendale, he went to medical school. Then his story just stops. Betty cocked her head quizzically. What does that mean? That his story wasn't brought to a conclusion, Tommy said. He wasn't killed or sent away into a witness protection program, something like that. It looks as though my predecessor forgot about him, I said. Betty's narrow lips curved in a skeptical smile. Just forgot? I wonder if that really was the reason. Perhaps because she'd been a psychiatric nurse before she left that profession and joined the bizarre world of daytime drama, Betty was one of the sharpest observers of people I'd ever met. I asked her what she was thinking. That actor might have messed himself up on drugs or booze, she said. Tommy grimaced. We've been through that a couple of times. Not fun. I'm going to find out the truth, I said. This could be a fabulous opportunity for the show. Fans love it when a familiar actor comes back in his original role. It'll be great publicity. Tommy started to bite his thumbnail, but caught himself and instead took 3 packs of Reese's peanut butter cups from the chocolate stash in the top drawer of his desk. He offered candy to Betty and me, but we declined. Tommy tore open a package. You've got 32 contract players to create stories for now. That's already a ton of work. Maybe the actor's dead, he said hopefully. I shook my head. We would have heard if anyone who'd been on the show passed away. Actors' obituaries always include their credits. Betty, look up the name of the actor who played Evan Duran and see if you can find out where he is now. Will do, Betty said crisply. She hurried out of the office on her mission. Tommy finished 1 peanut butter cup and started another. How are you going to explain the 10-year nap? I'd already been thinking about that. Assuming that Betty can find him and that he's able to work, a couple of weeks before he appears on screen, I'll have characters start talking about him. His sister Sylvia will mention that after medical school he did his internship and residency in some other state. Then he's been doing humanitarian work out of the country, but now he's coming back to Greendale. With some awful tropical disease? No disease, I said firmly. Not to discourage Tommy's attempt at creativity, I added, maybe in a year or so. Whether or not it's fatal depends on whether or not he's popular again with the fans. Now that the problem was established as mine and not Tommy's, he expelled a deep sigh of relief. He picked up the pile of photos he'd been looking through before Betty came in and shook his head in frustration. I don't know why anybody bothers to take pictures of kid actors. They look different 5 minutes after their headshots are printed. He tossed the glossies into the wastebasket beneath the desk. We've got to find a 10-year-old girl to play Gareth's daughter. How about if I have casting schedule some kids for us to see tomorrow morning? Tomorrow's fine. In another few minutes, I'd finished rearranging the taping schedule and gathered the papers together to give them to Betty for distribution to the actors, to our revolving wheel of 4 directors, and to the technical staff. Taking my shoulder bag from the coat tree by the office door, I said, I have an appointment downtown. See you after lunch. Tommy was instantly curious. With a teasing glint in his eyes, he asked, You sneaking off to have a romantic lunch with one of the men in your life? Which one, the cop or the crime writer? Or is there somebody new? Trying to sound casual, I said, It's not as exciting as a rendezvous. Just some personal business, nothing to do with the show. I'll keep my cell phone on in case you need to reach me before I get back.